This photo has a very compelling story behind it and two great lessons that we can all benefit from. So, let me kind of tell you the backstory about this. This is sitting in the garage of a friend of ours, and we're selling his house. We actually sold him his house originally a couple of years ago. So, this guy's name is Steve. He's a very good friend. He was good friends with us before we sold him a house, and that friendship even deepened more as we spent time together looking for houses and also sharing our love of vintage Volkswagens. So Steve had a dream of driving his vintage Volkswagen, that's the one that you saw in the picture, all the way across the country to Glacier National Park, camping along the way, and eventually getting to Glacier National Park, spending a lot of time there camping, and then finally driving home. So the day finally came after months and months of planning and preparation. Steve set off on his journey, and he shared his journey every step of the way on Facebook. It was so awesome because we saw him just driving that thing across country and camping and having a great time. Truly the trip of a lifetime. So Steve made it all the way out to Glacier National Park, was camping, and tragedy struck. Steve passed away unexpectedly in his sleep. So that brings me to lesson number one here. Lesson number one is if you have a dream, if you've got some kind of thing that you really, really want to do in your lifetime, start thinking about it now. Now, Steve wasn't foolish about this. He planned it out in advance. He didn't let it interfere with his security and his financial security for the future or anything like that. But he took action on it. And, as far as Pat and I are concerned, if your time comes, what better time than doing something that was a trip of a lifetime goal, and just doing something totally amazing. Now, I'll never forget when I got the telephone call from his sister letting us know that he had passed. It was such a shock. I mean, he was a young man, good health, nothing wrong with him, no clue of anything that could possibly happen. And I guess there's three lessons in this. So lesson number two is that none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. So we should live our days as if we don't know what'll happen tomorrow. Tell people you love them. Have a good day. Do what you want. Make plans for tomorrow, of course. But just remember that none of us are guaranteed anything. And that brings me to lesson number three for all of us. Have a will. Have all your paperwork in order. Now, Steve was a young man. Had no reason to worry about any of this stuff. Passing is such a thing in such the distant future for people Steve's age that it never even came to mind. And I think that's the case with most of us. Even as you get a little further along in life, it's still just something that's so far in the distance that we just don't have the time to deal with it. Well, Steve's case is a good example of anything could happen. And with Steve, it did. And if you have a will, it makes it so much easier on the people that are left behind. Now, consider this. The people left behind, they lose a dear loved one. They're grieving. Their whole life has changed suddenly and unexpectedly. And on top of that, they have to deal with a bunch of things that are totally foreign, things we hope we never have to deal with. If you have a will, if you have your paperwork in order, everything is easier for the people that are left behind because all they have to do is make sure that those instructions are followed. So the more you can have in place, the better. I remember when my mom passed, and also with my dad, they had everything all laid out. It was such a gift to me and my sisters because when their time came, all we had to do was essentially make one phone call and put the wheels in motion, and everything was written down. We knew exactly what to do. So during that grieving process, during that difficult time when your whole life is turned upside down, there were instructions. Everybody knew what to do. So if you haven't done that, I'd like you to think about it, and I'd like you to make a phone call today. Obviously, it's better done by a lawyer than done online or anything like that. So if you don't know a lawyer that can help you with this, call us. We know plenty of lawyers that are very competent and can help you out with something like this. It's the best gift that you can give to your loved ones. So just to summarize, you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Your life can change instantly and totally unexpectedly. So if you've got goals, if you've got dreams, get started on them now, because none of us know how much time we have left. And secondly, make sure your paperwork's in order, because when your time comes, most of the time we don't know when it's coming. So give that gift to your loved ones who are left behind so that they'll have an easier time of it when they're dealing with your loss. So anyway, I don't want to end this on a negative note. Our friend Steve fulfilled his lifetime dream of driving his vintage Volkswagen all the way across the country, camping along the way, and camping in Glacier National Park. He made it all the way out there. He fulfilled his lifetime goal, the trip of a lifetime, and I can't think of a better time, if your time has to come, than doing something like that. So thanks for watching. Please take my advice. Get your paperwork in order. You wouldn't believe in the real estate business how many times we've seen people's lives made so much more difficult because paperwork wasn't in order. Have a good day, and call us if you got questions. Bye-bye.